enough.
recently
You're
established team, you still need some time to work on. And we'll see. I mean, the ninth round will go their way. Interestingly enough, in the previous matchups they got to play at, where it was against Select and Big Academy, they actually picked up the majority of the rounds on the T side. But here, they finally get a CD side start. Let's see how many more rounds can they get here on the CT side. At times, you could call it some of the more easier side, but with the new economy, it is incredibly difficult to have a very consistent run of form on the CT side. Potential is there for maybe you to pick up the 7, 8 rounds, but also the same could be said for the T side.
Yeah, I mean, some of those results that we saw yesterday, definitely stemming into to some sides having a very solid T-side performance, and that's something they've really got to start to take into account now. That this T-side can pick up the 8, 9, 10 rounds on this map, and that's where things do become increasingly difficult. But again, we can come through to this one, see where this pistol round is going to take us. Of course, this is the map pick of Copenhagen Flames, but do not let that fool you. Avez are a very competent side on this map as well, so we are in for a treat here. 65% across 23 played maps. Copenhagen Flames, they have got a 100% win rate and do look very solid on this map, but we'll see where it goes as Jabby finds the opener. It's the A side that is under attack.
Oh, at least they recover the bomb in this spot. Are they still going for it though? That is very awkward. Navrod. That's the pickup here in Manx, but the two players, K and Navrod, will stick together and go towards the B side. Basso, though, very much aware. Very good tap on Navrod. Looking for K, though. 1v3. Bomb recovered, but so many players to find. So many players to kill. Now he's definitely expecting the players to come in from his backside as well. Very difficult scenario here for Lonesome K, but he's going to try to go down the lower side. If he isolates this duo, which he does in flying colors, there is the chance for a bomb plant that he's doing exactly that.
That's a great achievement in this round himself, just to get that bomb down here. But he hears the footsteps, unfortunately. Mertz is a step ahead of the game this time. We'll take down the final player, get that defuse in, and that's at least a good start for Copenhagen Flames. Avez, though, pretty successful victory with the way that that round was stemming out. To get a bomb plant down in that round is pretty much perfect here, and of course, that'll see them investing into some weapons. A hero AK up, joined by a second. So that's a pretty solid buy round here to come into a round like this. So we know what these second round purchases can really have to offer. There could be a sweet chance for Aves to win a round like this, knowing the weaponry they've got in hand right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is one of the rounds where it's just so hard to say who has won the pistol. Aves have got a formidable investment. They have weaponry that consists of rifles like the AKs, the Galil, scout in the hands of Markosh, and some utility to work with. I mean, the utility isn't looking that hot on the Flame side as well, and not all players are armed with a rifle. Absolutely, Aves have got a great chance as any to try and win a round like this. You need to be incredibly careful, though. There are players stationed in this outside area, to be more precise, Manx, holding garage, making sure that if anyone from Aves wants to cross down Mini or even attempt to go down Heaven, they'll have to go through him. But as you can see, the players of Aves, they have some utility to try and cross safely, but doesn't look like it's going to be deployed anytime soon. They want to keep onto those grenades for as long as possible. And now, finally, the smoke's during in. And if they want, they can cross safely down Secret.
This can get down into the lower depths of this bomb site. They do have Mertz ready and waiting, but it's an instant headshot by denying him as Jabby closing down one at least. Plenty of damage inflicted, and Kyler should be dead, and now he is. Bomb will go down, but a good flank there by Basso. Pretty much solidifying what should be a very good round here out of Copenhagen Flames. The retake looking incredibly likely now as Dafu whips around for both of them. And again, it's another bomb plant out of the side of Aves, but again, it's some AKs retrieved. It's some perfect rifles picked up there. And more so, it is a second round victory for the side of Copenhagen Flames. So they'll get that defuse in. Aves, of course, reimbursed with the economy, so might see another buy round here because they know it was a little more expensive for the side of Flames, but if not a standard eco, then heading into round number 4.
I think we will see the standard eco. Don't really see the reasoning why you want to invest so early and potentially kill your economy. Just get those upgraded pistols. Why not? That's a much better choice. Save at least $2,000 for every single player. Get yourself a few pistols. In fact, all the players will have deagles. That's pretty impressive. And well, we'll be seeing an advanced play here and outside. Mertz going for the engagements, but he's got to be incredibly careful here as he closes in the distance. Those deagles become incredibly lethal, and well, Markosh demonstrates us how and why. Manx, however, secures the frag, and Markosh, but this is going to be the opportunity for Navrot to peek. He peeks and he gets himself two. Those are massive frags now going the way of Aves, and Manx chimes in, but Basso also needs to get in, and there we go. He drops Kyler, drops the bomb carrier. Now it's Lonesome K in a prominent position.
Oh, timing. Basso luckily turns around at just the right point there. Just about locks out the round for Flames. That was a bit of a costly one again. With the way that Aves do make that situation go perfectly in terms of the success rate there with the pistols is very good. But, well, now Aves onto their full buy round this time. So, as far as I could tell, an AWP dropped out for Mertz as well. So, at least they'll have the sniper ready and posted. But, yeah, Aves showing signs of danger if they can make pistols no Kevlar look that inflicting.
Oh, I mean, that sometimes is what you can expect out of these pistols. You might say it's just a few deagles. What can they do? Well, they can do a lot of damage, and you can put yourself in an almost winnable 3v2. Now then, Basso, in for a lot of pressure. There's a lot of players on the other side, and once the flashbangs of the players do rain in, I think he's just going to want to back away from this one. Especially now that he has the Molotov, he could very easily deploy it and then retreat. There we go. Very well played by Basso, and well, ooh, Mert's got to be careful though. He's holding with the AWP, missing the first shot, and also giving away his position.
Force a little bit of reaction out of Aves. 55 on the clocks. They've got plenty of time. Need worry right now as Kai even gets the early one as well. Shuts out Manx. Oh, Dafu going aggro. Okay, Dafu, hello, buddy. Makes it 3 and a dink on Kyler. The damage done by Jabby to close him out. And just like that, Aves had the advantage, but an advantage no longer as Flames keep the round.
I mean, Lonesome Dafu, incredible hold. Managing to get free, it's impressive. Managing to get the dink on the fourth guy as well, that is unbelievable. You don't expect to witness that sort of performance here from Dafu, but out of nowhere, he comes in with 2, but at the same time, the spacing here from Aves, it's just horrible. Then again, it is a very much a tight angle approach, so you can't really have the 2 players peeking out there simultaneously. The other guys, they just get stuck there, and they can't move an inch. Navrot, though, ooh, didn't really go down the vent just yet. Oh, he gets stuck in the smoke. That's the satisfying.
A rough start here for the side of Aves, unfortunately. They are not in the best of positions to start this one in the slightest. Copenhagen Flames looking like this one might just be a 5-0 beginning, and already starting to put Nuke under a bit of pressure here for Aves. Not really seen too much out of them, but of course it is the start of the series. There's nothing to worry about just yet for Aves, but again, these pistols up in play, definitely a scary factor. Cannot take away from those. Mertz, however, nice shot onto Kyler. We'll get the Galil recovered. Markosh, beautiful headshot onto Mertz. That now drops a sniper, and if Markosh can get his hands on that, that is where things could become a little bit more risky. Basso is looking to prevent the collection of the sniper. Luckily, able to deny them both. Can't get the third, but it is down to a 1v3, a more manageable situation for Flames.
Ooh, it definitely is manageable. I mean, it is a 1 versus 4 we're talking about. 1 versus 3, that is. Yali makes his way down the lower side. I mean, the great thing for him is that it is possible to get that bomb down here, but as he begins to punch in those digits, players from the Flames will peek him and, of course, eliminate him without much of a struggle or much of a dilemma. Aves right now, this is not looking good for them. I mean, here initially, not expecting too much of the Aves roster. It is somewhat of a partial investment, so for them to lose that round is not a big deal. But I say that for now, Aves, they've already lost 5 rounds in a row. If they lose this upcoming gun round as well, that's where we have to see some sort of timeout take place. Here it is going to be full-on investment, no AWP, interestingly enough. Looks like they just want to roll with the AKs for now. Whereas Max, nice change up here in Nuke, Copenhagen Flames. Not playing your static default, they will go for the aggressive pushes if necessary. And here is one of those instances.
See this from a player like Dafu, just sitting up in front. Jabby caught off the smoke, unfortunately, in Dafu. That was a very messy play. Almost feel like the mouse got caught there for him because he had no movement at all when he dropped down there. And Avis doing a very good job of breaking into that A bomb site. Surely no chance of a retake here. Kyler gets plunged down by a nade, but a 5-on-3. It will be a save out of Flames. And Avis finally getting themselves around on the board. Successful one at that as well. Flawless. Losing absolutely nobody in that position. So that's a great victory just to put some confidence back into the Aves side, and especially on this T side. That's where you want to see them getting those rounds. A leg onto K, but no frag to come. They will escape with their lives and let Copenhagen Flames save the weapons. But 5-1, Aves at least off the mark now.
At the very least, yes, the one round has gone their way, even though it's still not enough. I'd say they're still very much lacking in that regard and will definitely need a few more rounds. But victories such as that one, small as it might have been, is quite detrimental for the Copenhagen Flames economy. Yes, the reinvestment comes in, but they've now invested almost every single penny at their disposal. So if Aves manage to win this round, it will force the opponents to go on an eco at the very least. Manx, though, great damage alongside Dafu. It becomes a deadly duo, and K gets shut down before he can even make it down the vents. An early frag for Copenhagen Flames, but Kyler, great little wallbang there on Yabi, losing quite a bit of his health. And next time around, he's going to have to be careful, more careful, so to speak, on the A-bomb side.
That's not a good frag to find early there. Or to lose at least, and Aves we're looking to try and make up the differences, recuperate the losses. Still with plenty of time on the clock though, nothing to really worry about. But again, Aves do need to be looking to take a little bit more map control. The way that so far they are currently sat back in this deeper lobby position, it's not particularly too great to be like getting ready for later round pushes, although with a player like Jabby this close, and unfortunately on this lack of health, he does need to play super defensive. Now luckily has the supports out of Manx, doesn't need to worry. But as Aves continuing to show signs of committing into this A-bomb site, Manx in the corner ready, but some Molotovs that could force him out of position. You've got one from Markosh, one from Kyler. Surely they've got to go down. And is this an A-sided attack or is it a vent dive? Well, it's exactly the second option, but Jabby takes out Navrot. Now a 5-on-3 to come, but it's absolute that that bomb has to be planted.
100%. And without a doubt, Aves will do just that. However, holding on to the side itself, that becomes a real issue. Kyler, he might have found the first frag, but there's a lot more they need to get. Kyler, though, very good pickup on one. Markosh chimes in. The Molotov, though. Oh, he still wins the engagement. Mert's now left in the 1v1. Ooh, missing crucial shots. And no wonder Kyler manages to win that one. But for me, that was an incredible play from Markosh. The fact that he manages to get 2 frags in that scenario is unbelievable. He should have just gotten the one, and that's it. The fact that he gets a kill post-mortem, oh geez, that really helps out the defensive here. But Kyler, props to where props have to go. I mean, him managing to hold on to ramp for as long as he did, getting the 1 frag and eventually winning the clutch, it essentially what wins Aves the round.
Yeah, it's perfect from Aves right here. You can see what effect it has on the upcoming round as well. It's a full-on eco here by Copenhagen Flames. Unfortunately, their economy is just not going to support them as much as they would like. By getting ready to enter that A-bomb site already. Kyler with the Molotov down, making it nice and simple. That's going to be a pretty much confirmed round already here on the side of Avez. They realize that this is most likely a bit of a B-bomb site or secret or some sort of stack from the side of Flames, and that's exactly the case. So they'll go lingering, lurking for some exit kills potentially, but a confirmed third round on the side of Avez, and this isn't looking too bad now, actually. They've recuperated some of their losses and have made the scoreline closer, and I'm glad to see them actually doing that on T side. If they would have been, having a really rough start and not picking up T-sided rounds, I would have been, incredibly worried. But they lose out on the sniper. Mert's getting that in his hands and maybe can put some good kills to use with it. Gets away with at least 2. But now should be there to grab the sniper. Nope, they do lose it out, but they've got money in the bank either way. Third round in a row. Third round on the board. Copenhagen Flames back to a rebuy, but Ave's showing signs of life now.
That's true. Copenhagen Flames right now, they might have to change things up a little bit because Aves, they're finally becoming a rejuvenated roster. After the initial losses, Aves managed to bounce back with 1, a second, and now even a third round in a row. And of course, the third one being the most easiest of all. Mertz though, goes in for the kill on Cave. Perfect pickup early on, and instead of still holding this position, I really like the fact they just back away. They have the advantage, might as well keep it, and do not lose it in vain. Mangs though, always got to be careful for going such a lengthy spray, and now Front, barely goes down the vents. Not sure if anyone from the Flames is aware of it. Now they are 100% they're aware of what's going on.
Bomb site lost once again. Even with the damage inflicted, it's nothing close to a successful round so far. Markosh hitting that shot onto Manx. Gonna really start to maybe even force Copenhagen Flames down into a save at this point. Markosh timing could not be worse for him there. He does lose his life on that outside position. That will now give them a great opportunity to try and go for a retake. They've got at least the time to do this. No defuse kit though, so it will become difficult. As already Navrot takes out 1, it's back to a 3 versus 3, and time is ticking. They need to get on that defuse, and I don't think there's even time to do it. Copenhagen Flames, they lose the majority of their players. Basso just trying to save this AWP. Gets away with 1, but how many more will he find? Well, we know the answer there. 5-4. Aves just a single round away from tying the scoreline now.
Indeed. 1 round away from tying things up. And that round as well. Initially, it's not looking good for Aves. It's Mertz to find the opener. And from here on out, things are looking incredibly well for Aves. Their 2 players managed to run down Secret. Well, actually not even Secret, just run down the vents and quickly advance on the B-bomb side to get that bomb planted. But the interesting thing was that it's only the 2 players that really committed to the side itself. The remaining players still held some very prominent angles, like Markosh, the operator outside. Of course, they can't have anyone coming through Secret if you have Markosh stationed in that position, costing them extra seconds, and even in ramp. Once the players from Copenhagen Flames reach ramp, the crossfire's already been set up, so Aves have an incredibly great opportunity to just win that one outright, and they do so successfully. Here is one of those rounds where they shouldn't struggle too much, but you see a few good kills go the way of the Flames. There's Markosh losing quite a big chunk of his health, but overall this is turning out to be like a solid round for Aves, though. Say that, Basso, where's the AK-47?
Yeah, that's gonna be better weapon for him to try and get away with some kills. No Kevlar, unfortunately. There's smoke in there as well, but Aves slowing right down now. Know that some of these weapons are in the hands of Flames, so do not want to be risking their lives in any way right now. Basso not going to work up the ladder. Catches out Markosh though. Luckily, Kai is there for a quick trade of the damage, leaving Jabby down into a 1v2. Big gap in the smoke, but that actually might draw Jabby into a peek as they see him coming out of the side of the vents. They know exactly what is up now. A 1v2 ultimately to be closed out in the favor of Aves. And 5-5, this is looking like a terrific scoreline now for the T side. They've able to tie the scoreline up, and who knows where this could go. Right now, Copenhagen Flames not looking convincing in terms of getting these round victories, so this could be a real opportunity for the side of Aves to maybe even win the half out here. They're looking like a much more confident side compared to those first 5 rounds.
Oh, and especially now, they just have loads of momentum because they're the team that has won the last 5 rounds in a row. As the money swims, I mean, loads of it, in fact, you're going to have those 847s invested. You're going to have even an AWP in the hands of Markosh, and they can very easily reinvest once again with a similar purchase, even if they lose the round. Of course, now, Mertz on the op again. This round has no backup from his teammates, will be the lonesome defender at Garage, and Kyler will use the pace to his advantage, even runs down Mini Garage to actually find one of the players here in the form of Yabi, and a second one on Dafu. He has now single-handedly opened up the bomb site, and Aves will pour on in.
What is this from Aves? They are looking so good here. Now with that extra victory in their back pockets, this is really going to start to turn the tides. Unfortunately, where things get real difficult now for Flames. Luckily, 3 players are saving though, so it's not going to be as bad as, say, if they did lose a further player. Now it's going to be 3 players up, so the save can come through. And the rebuy going to be a bit more difficult. Max round loss bonus has been achieved though, so Basso and Manx can drop out the M4s with no difficulty whatsoever. The same for Mertz as well if necessary, but Aves into the lead they go now, making some very good T-side rounds from this, and it's almost a situation where Aves fully understand. They know that if they win the first map here on Nuke, they go into Vertigo, a map that Copenhagen Flames have yet to play as an official as this iteration of the squad. They know that if they win Nuke, they've done like 70-80% of the hard work already going into this best of 3.
Mertz now still finds the opener here for the Flames. Very good pickup. Of course, no smoke here to try and block off his vision just yet. In fact, doesn't look like they want to try and do that. They just want to challenge Mertz here. And, well, Mertz playing spots out Markosh on the other side. Are they really going for this one again, though? I mean, you know that Mertz is a competent operator. At times, though, seems to be one of those players that seem to hit the hard shot, but times when you think, okay, that's the easy one, that's where he has to pull it off. He somewhat fails in that regard. Of course, it's quite hard to judge. Always is. Basso, though. Smoke deployed, and actually going to have to play the waiting game. As the players from Aves, they have loads of time on their side.
So much to work with here. Not need to worry about that opening frag just yet. Basso solo holding ramp is going to be a bit more of a difficult angle to play. Here's the footsteps, drops the nade, able to back away safely. Balls in the reinforcements. Able to get into Titanic relatively simply. Bialy, though, that's a beautiful entry. Now, do they understand that that was the player on the back of the site? Yes, they do. Basso shut down now, and its advantage re-established. Oh, the bomb will be sprayed, though. Have to be careful of that one. Dafu lurking in as well, but Markosh missed shot on the corner, now dead in the water as they find damage, but not a further refrag. A 3-on-2 with so much health lost, but a man advantage for Aves to play with.
Yeah, this is where it's just so difficult for Copenhagen Flames to get back in this one. Mertz, though, loses the engagement against K, and Yabi is just such a difficult position to be in as well from Decon. Aves, this has been an incredible run of form. It's quite insane how the scoreline is somewhat deceiving. I mean, this game has been somewhat one-sided. First, it goes the way of the Flames, then it goes just the one way of Aves. And oh boy, Copenhagen Flames in an awkward position right now. They don't have a lot of money. In fact, they will just go for the partial investment here, and then it's the gun round on round 14. It's really weird to see that this come to this. Bialy, though, that's a lengthy spray. Goodness for him. Kyler's here, and Navrod mobs things up as well. Gate bomb site, and slowly but surely the round goes the way of Aves. But I guess this is just one of the problems for Copenhagen Flames, is that they're yet, it feels like at least, they're yet to find their own map pick, so to speak, their own home turf. Even though they've had a successful run of form on, against opponents like Selecta, against opponents like Big Academy, this does not feel like this is truly the greatest map, or at least the map they can be 100% confident on.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Finally taking a tactical timeout as well. It's been maybe a couple of rounds too late there for that, but again, they can always bring through those tactical timeouts here, and that's exactly what Flames have done now as they go into what is potentially their final rebuy here in the half. If they lose this one, it will see Avez pretty much guaranteed a 10-5 at the end of this first half, and that's where things could really start to become a problem now, because Avez going onto the CT side, about to become much easier game for them if they make this sort of victory. And well, Markosh playing towards outside, no real challenge from the Flames themselves, willing to just sit back super default. Mertz playing that reserved angle rather than over peaking. Avez, we can't take away from the fact that no matter how this ends right now, whether it's an 8-7, 9-6 or 10-5, they've still had a very good run of rounds on the T side, once again proving that the meta is adapting for a T side successful half.
I mean, nowadays especially, just has become a lot more viable to pick up T side rounds, but not 8 rounds in a row. That's the impressive thing Alves has just achieved. Oh boy, Mertz is not really aware of what's about to take place here on his left-hand side, or maybe he is keeping a close eye on things. Even though he's aware, players could have very easily just gone down secret. He could also be up on his grasp. Look at this. Okay, love the positioning from him. He's sneaky about this, but as you can see, Copenhagen Flames, they've lost map control on outside, and they're going to try to get some here in lobby. This is a beautiful play from the Flames. Bialy is definitely not aware of the incoming advancement, but still gets the frag on Dafu. Nice one from Bialy. Copenhagen Flames now a bit confused on what's going on. They will advance to eliminate Bialy. Mertz gets the one on K, and with 20 seconds remaining, they have to commit on A.
Better so far from Flames, time ticking as well. Basso in this angle should be good enough to sit there and hold the line, but this time, no. Jabby falling at his feet. Basso, though, goes for the push, gets away with one, make it two, denies the bomb plant, and that is just what they needed. Copenhagen Flames, they bagged themselves around number 6, and finally shut down the advancement of the side of Avez. 8 rounds in a row, finally brought to a halt. That will see them now finished, as still 1 round left in the half. Plenty of cash for the rebuy on the Avez side. And it's Copenhagen Flames right now that just look to scramble the final 2 rounds at the end of this half. At least make it as close as it can be before moving into the second.
Yeah, definitely make it as close as possible. But that round in particular, I mean, that was a very nice play from Copenhagen Flames. They seem to have an idea that if it does come down to the A side hit, if we do have players over at lobby, we do have that positioning right there. If it does come down to the late hit, we're going to have players popping out of Blue Hut, we're going to have players coming out of Orange, the positionings, the 2 positionings, in fact, which Avas cannot really check because they simply lack the players. It was a very nice little late round play from Copenhagen Flames. The fact that they've made that adjustment. Maybe they have actually practiced Nuke. In fact, if I put in the hours, it's just that it's not really showing here against a team like Aves. They seem to be just running away with this first half. 8 rounds already being picked up is an impressive scoreline, and I really wonder how this last round will play out.
Especially with Aves sitting so comfortably inside of lobby, running down the clock and not really pressing the matter. Where they are going for a standard execution, it seems, right here, with 30 seconds or so left on the clock. They've got to be pretty swift about this. Basso goes walking through the smoke. That is not the way to start. Molotov down and a smoke to follow it up. A gap that gives Mertz a massive opportunity. Whoever threw that smoke there might have just lost them the round, as players now falling. Bomb plant needs to go down, but no chance whatsoever, as it's all on to Navrot. Has to stick the plant, and with only 4 seconds left, not even a thought in his mind, and that's so awkward there. Whoever threw that smoke, I think that was the cause, as they lost a couple players off of the back of that.
Yeah, that smoke grenade right there was a big problem here for this side here. Oh well, I mean, all things considering, Aves can still be very proud of their achievement. 8 rounds being picked up on T side of Nuke, that's really impressive. And it's also the matter they've done it at as well. They lost the initial 5. It was a 5-0 lead for Flames, and yet it was in fact Aves to pull through at the very end. And of course, folks, be sure to head on over to esportsmillions.gg. If you think you know CS, answer a few questions. Let us know those questions. And of course, you might get a chance at winning a whole 1 million euros there at esportsmillion.gg. So of course, head on over there. But I'd also love the fact you can watch this first pistol round because it is going to be a very important pistol round indeed. Aves right now in a position where they can advance the scoreline even further. But for Copenhagen Flames, this could be their redemption. They will begin to push on bomb sites. So far, so good for both teams, in fact, but even better for Aves as Kyler gets 3 and K gets the 4th.
So good from Aves right now. Manx last alive, able to pick off at least a first. If he isolates this down to a 1v1, that's where things could get a little bit more antsy, but he has been spotted inside of that corner, tapping away the damage. Markosh finishing the job. A 9-7 as Aves getting themselves a very nice pistol round. Exactly what they needed as they go into the next round with a chance to bring an advantage through in Copenhagen Flames. With no bomb plant, should be a relatively standard eco round from the Danes, and that is exactly what it will be. They'll go for a rifle round into the 18th. Now an opportunity for Aves to at least generate some decent cash with those SMGs if they can get some extra money moving into the next round. As right now, here comes the pressure. Basso, good for 1, make it 2. What is this right now? Luckily, not given the chance to survive or put that FAMAS to better use, but still, the bomb plant might just go down, but no, Dafu. Ring around the rosy of the silo. Navrot will close it down. A bit more of an expensive round, but I'm actually glad that some of those Aves players die, because now they're not going to stick with the MP9s. They will have to upgrade into the M4s.
Oh, there is especially, I mean, just keep it on the SMGs. You know that it's going to be detriment in this round in particular because you are expecting an investment from Copenhagen Flames 100%. It will be the AK-47s, and at least now almost everyone is armed with a rifle. You still have the UMP remaining in the hands of K, which, remember, you know, back in the day, it used to be the standard SMG to go for these types of rounds. Now it has become more prominent to pick up the MP9 instead. But the great thing about the UMP, even though it may not put out as it may not have such a great fire rate as the MP9, it can still pull out a lot of damage because it just tears through armor. That's the great thing about it.
Especially in this sort of position where he's playing right now, inside of the vents could be very nice close quarters angle for him. Dafu takes a little bit of a tag there in the smoke. Has to be very careful with the way that he sets himself up, but luckily it's outside control that Flames will start to contest for. Smoke's down relatively default. Spray out of Markosh. Will spot out a couple of players there. Some very nice damage. Pi getting ready for the peek out as well. Drops the smoke, takes a hit, but is ready for the defense. Now they're just running down the clock. They're limiting the options here for Flames.
Yeah, especially now, 30 seconds. And what look like, at least, as the commitment on the B bomb side now has to be changed up a 180. What is it? Yeah, bomb side, I would presume. Well, he looks like it, but Bialy, he gets the frag on Dafu. So not an A-side commitment just yet, but it has to come now. 15 seconds. They have a lot of issues to work with here. First of all, it's the time. Second of all, it's the players. And now Merch is just stuck in an awkward position. He flashes himself, but he cannot evade the bullets, and he will not evade death itself. Markosh and Navrod get the last few, and Aves managed to win the gun round as well.
Perfect here from Aves. 11-7 now as they keep up with a very nice spree of rounds. Money gone for Flames. Will be down to a pretty standard eco buy. Couple of pistols and Kevlar invested, but nothing major really. So a chance for Aves to make this 12-7 and really start to pull away. Interestingly enough as well, we are playing Nuke in the other bracket as well with Singularity SJ. That is currently sat at 14-4 for Singularity, who have a very one-sided game on their hands. This one, not so much at the moment. A little bit more tied up and competitive, but we expected that from the death for these two squads. Copenhagen Flames looking to see if they can surprise us with some sort of success here, but Marcos, love the fact that he's not playing that AWP or keeping a scout on the M4. Pretty proficient. Jabby and Dafu do find some kills, some kill bonus added to their money, but overall, a 3v2 should not be going in their favor, and whilst a little expensive, it should be around for Avez.
Absolutely. The two players, even though they're armed with the deagles, have the armors as well. They should not be in a position to win around like this. Serious mistakes would have to come out from Avez to allow that to happen. Basa and Yabi, though, sticking together as it should be. But even so, the numbers. Oh, okay, that's a nice little frag for Basa. Okay, though. Oh, also takes the hit. His top is now clean off, and Bialy left in the 1v1 as he eliminates Basso. Needs to look for Yabi, and Yabi's gonna book down the lower side. A very nice move from Yabi, and Bialy will have to follow suit, but he cannot give away his position. Now he'll begin to run in, and Yabi has got a very good chance in the mano-a-mano duel.
As soon as he gets into this upper heaven position, yeah, it's pretty much one and done for him right now, providing that nothing goes wrong. He is in an excellent spot. Galdi getting ready for the peak. Oh, I think he spotted the feet. Actually, now he knows where that player is. Drops the smoke. Flashbang down as well to see if he can get out into that bomb site. Goes for the defuse now. Has to try and stick it, but on the head of Bialy. Wins out the duel. Gets away with the clutch and wins a very nice round for Flames. That was an eco victory coming through there.
Oh, but it just goes to show how those pistols can be super effective. The hand cannons in particular. It was the 2-on-3. The remaining players from the Avez side, what they had there were, rifles. They were armed and dangerous. But the two players from Copenhagen Flames, they had just the deagles. Basso gets two amazing frags, and then Yabi recovers an AK-47 for his troubles and wins out the 1v1 against Bialy himself. Well, now, Copenhagen Flames, you ever wanted to have a chance back in this game? There it is. You've won it. You've taken it. Now let's see if you can get more than that. Copenhagen Flames, though, successfully, trying to cross down Secret. Well, that's a lot of damage inflicted.
So good there from Avez. Spray is perfect. You can see there's some easy trades coming through here. They have got to be very careful with how they approach this now. Especially with some of these deagles, all it'll take is one bullet per player here on Manx and Mertz. Especially playing this sort of back window angle. Oh, they could walk into such a trap here. They've got so much utility on this B side, but will that even matter for these sort of positions is the question. Navrot behind Silo, you've got Kai to back him up. Player spotted, at least gets away with a very nice spray, but Kai, the timing could not be worse for him there. Walks through the smoke, whiffs the shot, somehow gets out alive, doesn't finally as he's put to the grave. But a 3 versus 2, make it a 2v2, and look at the health of these two remaining players. Kyler, no, the awkward angle saved by Bialy, and all down to Manx now with 12 points of health. And that is going to write off the round. Avez, they win the back-to-back force by a victory for them, keeping them afloat here.
One of the things that also occurred there during this hectic round, we saw one of the players from Avez just push out for the smoke and get attacked with the scout, right? He doesn't kill the player, but his teammate ends up killing him. The player that was tagged with the scout, meaning that, okay, Avez, they suddenly have a 2-on-3. They're going to go for that one. They went for it. They had to face the 2 HP remaining players, and they absolutely dealt with them superbly. Perfect way for Avez to bounce back in a horrendous round to lose for the Flames. Again, you can just see how dangerous it is to go up against those pistols, especially the new combination that teams have been going for. 4 pistols and a scout, or at times, depending on the map, 3 pistols and the 2 scouts. If the tags do rain in, from there on out, the deagle's just 1 clicks away from getting easy frags. And here, can see how successfully they worked out. Speaking of this round, however, not a great start for Aves.
Yeah, definitely not here. Bialy and K both drop down fairly low, so they will need to be careful. Spotting out players top of silo as well. Nade over the top. Minimal damage taken, though. Copenhagen Flames, they know that if they win this type of round, they will be able to get themselves back into the game, most likely double digits. Money would be broken on the side of Aves. Flames, outside control, pretty standard stuff. Outside ready for an attack, though. They aren't going to divert through main, and that might just be awkward as Markosh finding the first. Nobody to back him up yet. You hear the footsteps of Manx, but a great trade in return. Oh, timing. Oh, timing. That could not be worse for them. Luckily, Mertz finding one in the doors. And back to a 3v4, although there is still a chance that they can hold this A-site defense.
Ooh, especially now, 20 seconds remaining. Oh, this is interesting. They're going to go down the B side instead. Is there anyone holding that part of the map? I wonder. We have Bialy and we have K here on the A side itself, but where is Navrat stationed at? Oh, he wasn't even on the side itself. So now there's the chance for them to get that bomb down on the B side, and Aves, more than aware of what has just occurred, will consider to save the weapons here, and I think that's a wise choice. If all three players survive, the potential is there for a reinvestment, or worst case scenario, just the eco here for Aves. But yeah, I think it's fair game. They allowed this one to slip out of their grasp. It will allow the round 9 go in favor of Copenhagen Flames, but let's see how many more rounds can the Flames pick up here. They got somewhat lucky, if I'm being honest. 20 seconds remaining. They consider going to B bomb site, the one bomb site that had in fact 0 defenders on it, and from there on out is their round to take.
Copenhagen Flames keeping themselves in the runnings right now. I think it was the better decision for the side of Aves to be able to then keep themselves afloat there. This one right now looking pretty good on the side of Flames. The money gone for the majority. So will have to be even a force buy investment here off of the back of this one. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. But at least can get a scout onto the likes of Markosh, a Deagle for Kyler, though. The rest, of course, on that saved weaponry. Copenhagen Flames looking to employ a bit of pace here. Some great tags in, but some damage returned by Manx as they get a double, make it 3 on the entry. That's the round gone, and Copenhagen Flames, they're right back in the runnings right now.
Oh, 100%. Here, especially with that round win, Aves, they don't really have much of a response now, do they? They just have to save the weapons here yet again. The scout here from Markosh and K with the AK-47. We saw how rapidly they advanced here in the bomb side, and you can also see the reasoning why. Copenhagen Flames, they know that the free weapons have been saved, but they're expecting the opponent's economy is not going to be in the best state. They can still advance in the bomb side, and there could be a few players with a pistol or two. And the fact of the matter is, they rushed on the bomb side that had 2 players with rifles, and the third guy had a deagle. Works out for them in the end, as Copenhagen Flames do get round number 10. And now it'll have to be a simple save. Not a lot of players have that money. So yes, simple save here for Aves. Another opportunity for Copenhagen Flames to secure yet another round. This is getting dangerous.
Especially with the eco that will have to come through now. This is starting to ask quite a bit of questions about Aves' CT side. They've done a great job so far by Flames. Right now, this is where things do get a little bit more difficult. 12 to 11 seems somewhat likely. That pistol plate not particularly doing too much to serve Aves justice. They've got a single AK saved. Not particularly that great. It would need a massive performance to be able to translate something out of an AK like this. The scout potentially as well could soften up those targets for the likes of the Lil there. Oh, sorry, the Desert Eagle there for Bialy. See what this one can bring to the table, but Copenhagen Flames right now at least proving that Nuke isn't completely out of the runnings yet. So with a minute on the clock, smokes down towards outside, relatively standard default smoke, setting up a fake though, as it will be a bit more of an A-sided lobby play that they're going for right now.
Oh, and it looks like it's the right choice as well. Of all the bombs that Avez decided to put the majority of their players on, they've gone for B, the opposite of A. And here, I also love to see the Copenhagen Flames. They're using their utilities, the smoke grenades, the flashbangs, and whatnot to make sure they can successfully take over the bomb site without much of a hassle here. And there we go. The bomb site has gone their way. There's a nice tag there coming in. Mertz might be overwhelmed here. In fact, he's being pushed down, but Mertz holds his own with the P250. Overall, yes, this is turning out to be like a very solid round for Copenhagen Flames. What looked like a dire start here in the second half could potentially still go their way. Now they'll be just one round away from equalizing the scoreline with a team like Avez, and even though Avez will be back on the investment, we can now see that Copenhagen Flames have that opportunity, have those chances of actually picking up rounds. And this slower style of pace for them hasn't really worked out as much as the faster play. So I wonder if they will just keep up moving fast as they can, or will they slow things down even more so?
Good to see the Flames can play both styles, though. Just getting... Oof. Okay. Very nice. K gets himself beautiful run of rounds there. Able to drop out an AWP as well, which is perfect. Double sniper out for Avez. Okay, they mean business now here. Copenhagen Flames, they've been allowed to make a slight comeback. They're looking to prevent that coming right into this one right here as Flames. They'll be getting ready to try and again level the scoreline, break the bank, and look to keep themselves in the game. But it's Navrot with a beautiful entry that closes out Mertz early. Great first kill to find, and that might just give them such a good advantage here. That's one of the snipers now relinquished. It will get put back into the hands of Manx as well. It seems like Avez, they're ready to put up the fight, ready to stick around on the CT side, and need to start to string some victories together, or Copenhagen Flames would be right back in the game. And they technically are, but Avez still looking like they're ready to prevent the uprise of the Danes right here.
Basso comes in. This is going to be an interesting scenario. Dafu, nice little pickup here on Bialy. There's now a 4-on-4 we're talking about. Manx, though, checks in the Molotov for good measure. Ooh, it really burns K quite a bit. It forces him out of position. This is where Copenhagen Flames now doing a tremendous job at picking up these frags. And Kyler, even though the positioning here is such a great spot, is not going to find a lot of impact here because Copenhagen Flames have yet again taken over the A-bomb site. Well, now, this has been quite a nice run of form from Copenhagen Flames here, especially, you know, some of the players are just hitting some amazing shots. And here in the T side, that matters quite a bit, especially on a map like Nuke. But now the scoreline being 12-12, someone will have to take let's say another timeout to have that discussion, because this simply cannot go on any further if you're Avez. You got to slow down that Danish train.
Not just the aim as well that's working out for Copenhagen Flames. They're getting, I wouldn't say lucky in these situations, but Avez are sort of overextending to the point where they're leaving these sites wide open for the taking. And the fact that Copenhagen Flames can just walk into these bomb sites with very little challenge and instantly force a save out of Avez as soon as they put that bomb down, that's where things do start to get really difficult. And like you say, I think it is time for a slight pause in the play, a tactical timeout for Avez. I would love to see one of those come through right now just to ensure that this side is still functioning as it should be. But double AWP back out in the field. M4s to surround. Decent utility. No pause to be had so far. Hopefully Avez don't come to regret that sort of decision. But a faster play here by the side of Flames. Some great damage and a rush. As soon as Flames pick up the pace, it's Avez that read it brilliantly.
Oh, there we go. Nice hole here at the A-bomb side. Bialy, K stepping up. K in particular. That's always the problem, isn't it? When you decide, you know what, we're going to go out a little bit quicker this time around at the bomb site, and here they get absolutely destroyed here. At times it can work out perfectly, but here was not one of those instances, because it really comes down for the terrorists to just get the 2 frags on the bomb site as quickly as they can. If they falter, if it goes down to some sort of refrags, sometimes yes, they can still pull through, but this time they simply couldn't manage. Margosh, though, very aggressive position with the AWP. Same goes for K, but they know they have to take the fights here to the Flames. Otherwise, they might just pick them apart yet again. And K, though, prominent angle, should get the frag, but no, it's Basso to come out on top. And you can see the awareness from Basso. Those expecting the player to be here as well. Flash comes in from Mangs. That's an amazing way to kick things off for the Flames.
They heard the scope. They knew exactly what was up there. Ooh, Mertz. Misses a point-blank shot there. Bialy now taken a couple of lives here on that CT side. Oh, Dafu, though, sitting down in that ramp position, able to overwhelm at least the first player. Now it's surely a re-diversion up toward that A bomb site. That's exactly what it will be. Bialy, though, from beyond the smoke, might go for a bit of a push here, knowing that he can read the info, but it's Manx that spots him out now. Missed shot by Navrot on the ladder, of course, never expected to land. And again, it's Avez that are too eager to go aggro. They lose those players, allow Copenhagen Flames to lurk in the backlines, to sit on ramp, to get those easy trades. And unfortunately, it just does not work out whatsoever. Copenhagen Flames, they tie the scoreline. Nuke feels like it's going the distance.
Especially now. Now that both of these teams seem to be in a pretty good position to still pick up rounds here. Aves, I mean, even though the aggression doesn't work out, I mean, you can see the reasoning behind it. It's just that eventually, you know, Basso's entry frag and prowess was just too much to handle as he gets the first guy, and then, of course, they expecting the second guy to be behind red container. Flash reigns in early on, early advantage there for a team like Copenhagen Flames. But even with the early advantage, you saw them mess up just a little bit there. You know, a player like Bialy, given the chance to get a few frags there as well, something that should not have happened in any way, shape, or form. Yet who knows how that one could have played out. But yeah, tactical timeout coming in for Copenhagen Flames. In fact, they know that they're incredibly close to just things out here on the first map, their own map pick as well. They know if they want to have a chance on this best of 3, they got to do it right here and right now.
Oh, here we go. Copenhagen Flames, they know that if they win this round, pretty much get themselves up to round number 15. Chance for them to already put a great fight up here on Nuke. A real good opportunity to snatch away at least their first map pick. Be able to get themselves a very solid run of rounds. We shall see. 13-13, it is going very, very close. Avez already relinquishing a bit more outside control than they would have liked. Allowed to get into that secret spot already. Of course, they will be aware of this. The likes of K, a good headshot angle to play with, but loses the initial engagement, not wanting to over-aggress. Luckily, everybody just pulling back. No early casualties. Copenhagen Flames will just group back up towards outside and not commit to any individual fights.
Yeah, so far, even though they have control their Copenhagen Flames, they will not use it to their advantage just yet. Margosh, though. Ooh, he's holding the right angle here. Gets the frag here on Mertz. And well, ooh, there's the advancement there from Basso as well. He really wants to get that frag, but he's got to be careful because Kyler's got the high ground. He could very easily secure a frag here as well, even though Yabi prime position to eliminate someone here from the side of Aves. The positioning here from Copenhagen Flames, it's all over the place, but it's good.
With these angles they've gotten here, time ticking away, but Navrot, that's a very nice kill to find Basso dead in that back lines of the B site. 25 seconds, and now here comes the commitment. They've got a Molotov for that corner of vents. They wish to use it, but a player in rafters as well. That might be perfect here as Bialy lines up the crossfire, and Bialy and Kyler collaborating for the kills. That works out absolutely perfectly. And Aves, they keep themselves in the runnings here, advancing closer toward 15. And still keeping Copenhagen Flames at bay for now.
Oh, and I thought the positioning there from Aves was just so good in that round. They had a player that could have very easily made his way up heaven. Then you have the player that was also in lower ramp, and the other two players that were making their way through the squeak door. And yet, it still wasn't enough for Copenhagen Flames to come out on top in that round, because once they eliminate the guy in lower, then you have an inkling that, wait a minute, this does feel like more of an A-side commitment now. And as the players begin to rein in, you can see that even though Bialy was more or less stuck behind the vent, he still manages to hold his own, get those 2 frags, and well, it is none other than Aves to secure victory. 14 for them, and Copenhagen Flames, they know the importance of this round, and they will actually go on for the full-on investment here, even if it means Yavi has to play with the MAC-10 and Dafu has to play with the Deagle.
Very ropey buy around here on the side of Copenhagen Flames. They know that if they lose this one, it could be an absolute travesty. Early damage inflicted down into the vents they go as Dafu caught off. It's already Kai that finds the opener. With Bialy trading back the kill now, it's a bait of the shot. Navrot luckily escapes with his life, but still, Markosh with the damage. The rapid fire flicks from this man, isolating Mertz now in a 1v2, and he is not going to be expectant of that secret push, and Aves 15 to 13 at probably the best point in the map as they break the bank of Copenhagen Flames.
This is the kill. That's the one kill that really set the stone for Aves to come out on top here. If Markosh just ends up dying in that situation, the 2-on-2 is looking incredibly likely for Copenhagen Flames to win. But, like I said, Markosh very quick on the trigger, gets the last one as well, putting Aves on 15. That definitely alleviates a lot of pressure here for the Polish side, but they know that even these next few rounds, they are incredibly important. This one, even more so. The players of Copenhagen Flames, though, they will absolutely have to go for the force buy. This is potentially the last round of the first half, so they have to get weapons, and as we can see, they can get the best ones. It's a Galil here for Manx, also the player that has the most amount of utility, and the other players, it's pistols, it's CZs, it's Deagles, it's also the Tech 9 here for Yavi, which we've been seeing a lot more nowadays, yes, and they're going in with a very fast pace here down the lower site. Early Molotov, that's going to slow them down quite a bit, and another one to try and stop the advancement here from Markosh.
Good angle by Navrot, taking a bit more of a defensive posture. Smoke down for Kai as well. Navrot's bullets keeping them trapped in. Still gets away with one. Bialy with the second and K with the third. Couple of decent trades out of the side of Flames, but the spray might just come through that door. No, it's Mertz caught off, and Markosh finishing the job, and Aves, they've snatched away the result there on Nuke. And Copenhagen Flames, it's their map pick that falls at the feet, and like I said, that's the hard work that Aves needed to put in to win this map, and they do exactly that.
Yes, if now Aves wanted to be in a position to try and just 2-0 the series, they're in the best spot without a doubt. And of course, folks, we'll be heading over to the second map of Vertigo, but for now, we're going to head on over to a very quick commercial break, and once we'll be back, we'll bring you that second map, so stay tuned.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives. Witnesses are irrelevant. Leave them unharmed if you can. End of a transmission. system online.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, of course, into our second map of the series. It is Vertigo, coming in as the map pick of Avez here in this series. And after they take Nuke 16-13, my confidence, I have to say, is not currently with the Flames. It's, let's say, being extinguished a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say that's a very fair assessment. The Copenhagen Flames, they might have looked quite solid initially. I mean, initially, yeah, 5-0 start on Nuke. They seem to be almost unstoppable, but the problem was they were very much possible to stop. And obviously, they just simply started running away with that first half, and then eventually on the second one, they take their sweet time to just close things out, but they managed to do so regardless. And now we're out here on the map of Vertigo, a map in which Avez feel comfortable enough to pick it against Team Copenhagen Flames, whereas the Flames are yet to play a single official matchup here on Vertigo.
Where things do get a little bit more difficult. I mean, we know the Flames as their previous squad. Yeah, they did like to play a little bit of Vertigo, but again, we know that this one is definitely really interesting in terms of the fact that we haven't seen Flames play Vertigo at all in this iteration of their squad. And well, see where this one goes. It's pistol round to start. Avez, of course, choosing that CT side beginning. We'll see exactly what they can bring to the table here. Markosh holding ramp with his teammates. Might be about to walk into his death, and that's exactly the occurrence. I'll be able to shut down the first, and that should see Flames now getting ready for a B-sided take.
Oh, especially with all of that utility. That's a lot of utility being deployed on the B-bomb site. Something you don't get to see too often, and well, that's one good kill working out here for Avez, but the problem is the bomb site has fallen. The bomb plant will also commence. Yavi, though, maybe takes the hit there from Navrot. Manx, though, still holds his line. Bialy and K moving in from the same angle, making them incredibly susceptible to damage and bullets. And well, Bialy still holds the line. There's a certain Dafu on the other side, just ready and waiting for that smoke grenade to fade, and then he will pounce. Oh, he's losing a lot of HP, but the crossfires have been set up, and it will be the round for Copenhagen Flames to take a great start after a satisfying end on Nuke.
Yeah, that's a great way to begin their pistol round in the favor of Flames. That's exactly what they'll be looking to extend their run of rounds upon here. Still, CT side, able to go for a force buy investment, even a UMP out there on the side of Navrot. So we'll see what damage that he can bring to the table. And it's pistols for the rest, not particularly as established. And Kyla opens up the early frag. Manx with a quick return, but Markosh ready for a swing. Ready to already trade back the damage, but with no utility on that CT side, it's down to the raw aim duels. See what Avez can really do to try and turn the tides here. That UMP on the B site could actually be a bit more of a nuisance than expected. Navrot sort of choosing the B bomb site to play, but this time Copenhagen Flames might just be walking into a little bit more of a trap here.
Ooh, this is interesting. There's not some utility being used here, but Navrot, he's holding the off angle. He should not be expected in this position. And well, as he peeks, he should be at least good for the one, but no. 4 players look towards him straight in the eye, and Navrot can't do a single thing. Copenhagen Flames have yet again undergone this B-bomb site commitment. Now with the smoke grenades being deployed, it's just there around to take. Especially there's another deeper smoke indeed. Yes, the remaining players are just off trying to save the weaponry here, even though it's not much, even though it's pistols and some armor. The very same pistols could come handy the next one, but here, oh, there's still some engagements coming in. K does go down eventually, but yeah, the 2 remaining players will still consider saving the weaponry here. A wise choice, I'd say. One way or the other, the chances are they might lose a round like this, but at least now they will just keep some of that extra weaponry for the next one, where it will be a full-on eco.
Especially with the Kevlar saved up as well. It's nice to see at least that Avez able to keep some weaponry posted. Copenhagen Flames. We, of course, will see a full investment out of them. Avez taking that full eco round to come should be a relatively standard 3-0 start here. Copenhagen Flames will be getting ready for what should be the setting up for the fourth round, essentially, knowing that it will be a bye round to come from Avez. Hey, already sacrificing himself early inside of middle. It's putting the UMP to great use as well, almost trying to see if he can get any more kills just to guarantee that economy for the AWP moving forward. No, Marcos with 2,700 in at the bank. I believe that will be enough to afford the sniper. Mertz, though, picking up a second and clearing out middle. No challenge whatsoever here. Kyler will eventually fall to Mertz as well. That's a great start for Flames. 3-0 off the mark and 3-0 on the T side as well. Especially on a map like Vertigo, they're pretty much halfway towards safety here in this first half.
Avas, though, plenty of cash to invest. Coveting Flames. I mean, now especially that a lot of teams have noticed that primarily if you can fend off the A-bombs, you can very easily just win out your CT halves here. But, you know, Copenhagen Flames, they might be in a position to get a few more rounds than just the 6. Because they're in a position where they've now shown they're capable of hitting the B-bomb site. And now the change-up is here. They're going towards the A-bomb site. Navrot might have found the first. But there's a response from Dafu. Bialy gets his, though. That offense has been slowed down, stopped in its tracks.
Start on the buy round here from Avez. Tanks already dropped down to 51 as well. Will give them easier time to most likely close out this round here. They're going to be getting at least a little bit more settled up close and personal. Single player on the B bomb site holding the rotate if necessary, but Flames still seeming relatively committed here at this point. Be moving up to that close corner. Marcos already good for a trade back though. With a 4-on-2 to play, that should be enough to win the round. 55 on the clock, so maybe they can try and put a bomb plant down here, see if they can get some hits out right now. But Bialy walking into the line there for Basso, now in a 1v3 for him. Able to do some extra damage and pick off Marcos, and I'm pretty sure he's just heard Kyler from that CT spawn.
Oh, the awareness from Basso is so good. Very good chance of winning this one. Is he gonna go down the ramp? He's gonna try to play this one out. Of course, he has no idea where Kyler could be stationed at, but now he's gonna have more of an awareness that it is somewhere. A rotation from the B side. 15 seconds. Those gonna check in that smoke grenade. Gonna punch in the digits, and Kyler as he moves in. Ooh, right around the side. Basso seems to be aware of it. Oh, he whips out. Oh, looks towards the other angle, and Kyler comes in clutch. As Copenhagen Flames cannot cement that one, even though Basso had a tremendous run of form.
So good there from Basso. Unfortunate that he doesn't actually win the round there. Could have been a golden opportunity for him to actually get away with some sort of successful clutch there to keep Flames in the runnings. But with so much cash in their back pockets, a rebuy will not be an issue in the slightest here. The round made a little more expensive, and Basso's clutch there, near clutch, doing exactly that as he picked off so many players. Made the rebuy very expensive. Avez on the brink of being broken once again. With Copenhagen Flames stacking so much economy, this is where they can try to get back into the game. Jabby early entry onto K. A great way to begin as they close out the first kill already. And with a mid to B split on the way, it's all about the defense this time. Marcos drops the bomb though, and that might just be the denying factor, but Mertz trading it back this time. Basso's angle good, but not good enough. But it isolates Navrot in a 1v2.
Oh, don't tell me this is going to work out here for Copenhagen Flames. They managed to recover the bomb, but now Navrot, oh, making a lot of noise. And, oh, does not get the kill on Yabi. Oh, my. How does Yabi win that engagement? I just have no idea. And Avas, you know, once that bomb carry is dropped from the opponents, I actually thought, okay, 3-on-3. Looks like Avas will potentially win this one. But apparently, that was not enough. Copenhagen Flames, they're running away with this first half. This is something I did not expect to witness, considering on Nuke, yes, they had a great run of form initially, but now it's a different battleground. Now we're talking about Vertigo being their opponent's map pick and them not having information here in a map like Vertigo, and yet they're playing some stellar CS.
Really good from Flames. Again, Vertigo, just because of the fact that we know nothing about this map for the Danes here, they could have any sort of level of skill on this map. Practice in the servers ready for these officials could have been made, and who knows how good they are. But right now, this is a real promising start. 5-1 looking likely, despite some damage done to both Manx and Jabby. That is going to leave them relatively tagged up for these Desert Eagles, who could make light work of them. But again, with the advantage Copenhagen Flames do have here, they'll take every angle as slow as they can. Dafu, though, receiving a tag. There's Kyler, able to finish the job, but it's round to the B side. They realize now that it's most likely a stack. Plant will be able to go down pretty much unencumbered. Should confirm the round for Copenhagen Flames, despite it being a little more risky than first imagined.
Yeah, here there was a little bit of a risk factor involved always when go against those pistols. But here, once they've taken over the B bombs, Ave's just don't really have much to work with here. No kits, no nothing. The positioning is also not great, so they simply can't win this round. It will be fine for Copenhagen Flames, though, as they've been more often than not committing on the B bomb side, interestingly enough. I think it'll be going for the run boost, though. Ooh, let's see. Late run boost in. Could be a frag or two. Oh, but they are so aware of it. I mean, once they hear the player jumping down, you can hear the crack of his feet, and it becomes a lot easier to get that one. 5-1 it is. Copenhagen Flames, an impressive run of form thus far in Aves. I'm sure that if, say, this investment doesn't work out, we might see a tactical timeout, but for now, I'm sure that they still feel comfortable. You know, this is what we needed. We need to get Markosh back in the op. We have a good chance at winning a round.
Any other weapon there as well for that run boost, and he might have had some success. But yeah, it's the buy round now to come for the side of Aves. See if they can reinvest and try and bring some success to life right now. There's Navrok. Great early open here, actually. Finding the initial frag, and Manx trading it back very quickly, though. A 4 versus 3 already. And with the angle held by Basso. Good spot out by Kyler. Not going to be fully committing yet, but still. The advantage now has been reclaimed here on the side of Flames. Some damage done, some really nice tags. Not enough to win the round yet, as Markosh held in that angle, pretty much trapped in the corner, but knows that he can hit these shots, and well, he delivers a first in great fashion. And with a minute left on the clock right now, they can really try and run down the time. This could be possible if the timing works out, and unfortunately it doesn't. Markosh left alive, and even with damage done, that might not be enough to win the round.
Ooh, that nade though. Oh, that nade though. That's massive. He stops the bomb plant from ever happening. And Markosh, of course, is expecting the other guy to be here on the side itself. And well, Manx, he will try to retreat, but the eye of Markosh sees it all. He will have to jump down at one point or another, giving away a sound cue. Then he's going to have to be incredibly precise in the AWP. He jumps down, he sees the player, but it doesn't matter. Manx comes out on top with a 4K of all things, and even though the nade was very nice, very precise, it still wasn't enough for them to win that round. And look at Copenhagen Flames as well. I mean, this has been, what, already 7 rounds of CS being played out. There have been a few times they've tried going on the A-bomb side, or at least initially tried to, you know, poke around that area of the map. But it's been time and time again that they decided, you know what, we're going to go B. And that is so unexpected, I'd say, in Vertigo. Even to this day, a lot of teams just still keep on focusing the A-bomb side, but not Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, it's actually really good to see that they're willing to, like you say, just sort of sit around in this type of position and not actually worry about giving up too much on the T side. They look like a very solid side here as they aggress, and they seem to be very, you know, like assured of their own setups, which is always good to see. But again, Flames this time going to be sitting back on that B bomb site once again. It's a repetition after repetition here for the Danes so far. They are looking somewhat likely right now to be in with a great chance of getting further round and at least extending the scoreline, but we shall see right now as Jabby, early entry found. half eco around with some extra weapons. Might even turn into a save for Avez. Basso already up close and might be forcing these players back. This could be a very dangerous sign. Navrot, though, good return back to a 4v4.
Oh, look at this as well. A nice attempt at the boost. Avez will have the remaining players pushing it from one angle mostly. And Markosh looks like he'll just evade barely with that AWP. Only though, holding the angle, maybe he'll be rewarded with a kill. He is. But you can still see the player like that very much aware of an incoming push, but even so, it will be 7 rounds here for Copenhagen Flames and Avez. I mean, there has to be some confusion amidst their ranks. How is this happening? That a team in the form of Copenhagen Flames, which we just managed to beat on their own map pick, 16-13, now is actually giving us a lot of headache here in the second one, our own map pick. Clearly, there has to be some sort of discussion. They cannot allow this one to continue any further. It looks like after the investment will come through, yeah, no timeout. They're just going to play it as it is.
Yeah, this is rough right now for Avez. If they continue on this sort of pathway, we might not be seeing all too much out of this first half for them right now. Copenhagen Flames, they are going to this time switch things up. Jabi is very quick up that ramp position right now. Might get spotted though. Navrot, that's a good early entry. Minimal damage inflicted, taking him to just below half of his health. But Kyler, good hold on the smoke there, spots out the second as well. Finally, it seems like Avez will be trading around in return. This time a 4 versus 2, some great shots by Mertz, but it will get finished off eventually. A faster round there by Flames, and you can see when they turn the pace, when they want to go a little quicker, it doesn't suit them all that well. Copenhagen Flames, they might revert back to those executions right now as they know that that's what wins them rounds. But a good win from Avez just to keep them somewhat stable and afloat in this map. They just need to restore that confidence more so.
If there's one player you want to try and avoid right now, it's going to be Markosh. He seems to be hitting just all the shots right now, and as an operator, that is incredibly confidence boosting. If you're Copenhagen Flames, I'd say you want to try to avoid Markosh as much as possible. Focus on maybe some other areas of the map instead of just committing blindly on the B-bomb site, because now Markosh seems to have a good grasp how to interact with the Copenhagen Flames player and what would be the best way to try and hold on this side for the incoming advancement. So yeah, Copenhagen Flames now poking around the A-bomb site, also something they've done in the past and quite successfully. They've done so in a regard where they even get a few openers. Nothing of the sort just yet. It's a much slower round here from the Flames.
Not wanting to overextend or overcommit, and this is the exact way to go about this right now. Navrot on that secondary sniper. But will he spot him out? Who gets the info first here is the question. Afu inside of mid, though, unfortunately falling. There's Mertz with the refrag, though. That's what I was waiting for. Now trapped, goes for the peak though. Works out in his favor as they do close out Jabi. Now it's a B-sided rotate. Smokes and mollies to go down. It will force the retreat of Markosh now in that corner. They get ready for the attack. Kyler prepared for the push. 23 seconds as Markosh once again. So good right now from Avez, and finally getting some rounds in consecutive fashion.
Oh, there we go. Beautiful to witness. This hold again coming in here from Avez, and this one, shout out to Kyler for being a great player there in the sort of mid area, managing to hold his own, and eventually is out there to help out his buddy Markosh on the B-bomb side so that he doesn't get overwhelmed too quickly. And a few rounds have gone the way of Avez. Finally, they're showing some sort of resilience, which is something we haven't seen just yet. And here as well, in this round in particular, it's a great opportunity as any to secure the 4th round. Copenhagen Flames, you know the drill. It's the simplest of ecos. This is by far Av's best chance to minimize the scoreline difference.
Especially now with this one being their own map pick as well. You want to see them picking up the pace on half like the CT side. Interestingly, looking at their stats though, just about edged in the favor of a T-side distribution. So it is the T-side that they are somewhat they more proficient on. So I'd say even providing that they can get away with maybe 5-6 rounds or so on that CT side, I feel like they'll be somewhat safe. They did that against Norderwind. They showed a great form against Movistar Riders. Have been able to play Vertigo very successfully, but 50 on the clock. Early entry found by Marcos. The rest of Copenhagen Flames, just seeing if they can overwhelm mid. A bomb plant would be perfect. Taking down Kyler is the first step toward that.
Ooh, that's a lengthy from Kyler, but only gets the one. There's going to be a few more players for BL to challenge. And yet, both of them peek out, and both of them shall die. Aves managed to secure the eco round without losing too much, I'd say. Just the one player. But overall, not a bad eco. This is, however, now a gun round for Copenhagen Flames. Loads of money at their disposal, so they will have the best weapons out there. The AKs and whatnot. But I haven't seen a WP being picked up here by Mertz. I mean, that seems to be just standard practice, but not in this instance. No AWP for Mertz. It's all AK-47s. Something tells me we might see a quicker style of round for Copenhagen Flames. Stuff that we haven't seen in a while.
Feels like we need to see some sort of change up right now. Aves are seeming to get a little more settled than what we previously saw right here as well. They're looking good right now. Marcos, though, missing that shot as they take out two in return. They don't expect Manx there. And Copenhagen Flames, as long as they keep challenging and keep targeting this B bomb site, it seems like it will keep on working out for them. Bomb goes down. Most likely will have to be a save out of Aves here unless they want to sacrifice the weaponry.
And again, I'm just so surprised to note that it is Marcos, the one player that can still hold his own on the side itself. The other players do have a much more difficult time. K and Navrod, I mean, lingering behind the smoke grenades, but Navrod has repositioned himself, but Mertz is going to pick him up. It does look like K is an almost unwinnable round, but he is still trying to go for this one, oddly enough. The main thing is for Aves that the players seem to have just enough to reinvest here, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But the reinvestment does come in. This B bomb site, without a doubt, has been one of the weakest areas here for Aves to defend. The A bomb site seems to be doing a much better job than what's happening over at B.
Aves need to be more stacking their defenses on this B bomb site. Copenhagen Flames just keep on targeting this map. Keep on targeting this part of Vertigo, and it's working out perfectly for them. Copenhagen Flames, they are in a real good spot now. 8-4 on T side is a real good scoreline to have a grasp on. Nice nade down there early as well. Basso, hello, Kyler. Okay. Doesn't spot the player, wide open, loses the first frag, and Basso down to 2. But Kyler mustn't have his monitor turned on here.
Oh. We'll see about that. Well, now. Is this going to be it? Finally, Copenhagen Flames. Are they really going to go on the A-bomb side? It's been forever. Been so long since we've seen the Danish flag being cropped up here on the bomb site itself. But as we do see the players slowly but surely shifting their focus over to this area of the map. Navrod, though, in for a nasty surprise. Double nade stack. And yet, of course, they don't secure the kill on the back of it, but they should be expecting the players still here. Oh no, they don't check him. Navrod in a prime position to get at least the one kill. They still are not aware of his positioning, and I love the fact that Navrod isn't even pulling the trigger. Now he will, as they know the positioning of Yabi. This will be the victory for Aves. 5-8 it is, as they finally pick up another round win.
As keeping close at least on this score line. Not going to be letting up too much right now at this point. We will need to get ready for a closer battle. Money is gone now on the side of Flames, so they do need to start to pick up a pistol around here. They can try and maybe again go for a bit more of a B-sided split, something they've shown a lot of signs of doing over this past couple of rounds. Getting ready for a mid push to come right here, and that could be dangerous right now. The attention is divided. Marcos luckily holding down towards ramp, but the boost over the top. They've not yet realized Jabby could be in a perfect spot. Luckily, Markosh, though, rattles off the two. Make it a third there as Kyler backs him up. Some missed shots out of the side, but the rifles come in to swing through cleanup. And Ave's getting round number 6. They're at least making the first half close now.
The potential is there for a 7-8 scoreline. Absolutely. We're going to be seeing, yeah, it is going to be somewhat of a timeout here for Copenhagen Flames too. Might as well use it to their advantage if they make this one a 9-6. I mean, absolutely. Have a very good chance of just winning out the second half outright. If it's still an 8-7, it's still an okay scoreline. But, yeah, you have the timeout, might as well use it, which is, again, something we don't always get to witness at the 9-5, even though a team that at one point is leading the game 7-1, they start losing a lot of rounds in a row. And when that happens, you don't really get to see them take the timeout. Sometimes you will, but sometimes they'll say, you know what, we'll just keep on playing the way it is. We can still bounce back from this one. And even though it's the last round of the first half, you know, Copenhagen Flames taking the timeout, I respect that.
Especially just to sort of decide where they play this final round of the first half. I think we know exactly where they're going, though. Again, pretty much rinse and repeat of the previous round. Going for a bit more of a direct B-sided setup. A lone ranger on ramp in the form of Manx, who does get away with at least a first kill. The rest of the action will take place down on this B side, though. The flash is coming through. Markosh holding the line, but missed a vital shot there as Basso able to come through and close it down. That's a great refrag to find now a 5-on-3. Oh, and Basso inside of the smoke, not expected now. Plenty of damage done, but it's the trades that look great from the Flames.
Oh, and this as well. Flank from Mangs to seal the deal, and he'll absolutely do so. And it will be a 9-6 scoreline. Copenhagen Flames, an impressive run of form here in the first half. Doing a tremendous job at time and time again, just opening up the B bomb site. Avez just seem to have had a difficult time holding on that area of the map. And of course, the Copenhagen Flames players just kept on abusing it time and time again. And so, rightfully so, 9 rounds go their way, whereas Ave's only the 6th. But again, could very easily still be even up. If Ave's manages to win the first pistol round, the potential is there to make it a 9-9 by Copenhagen Flames. If they're the ones to come out on top, then absolutely. You could also see 12 here for the Flames very early on here in this second half. But pistols galore here for Aves. They do have the utility invested, but it looks like the utility will not be used just yet. It's all going to come down to the raw aim. Speaking of which, Kyler here, eliminates Dafu. Great initial one for Aves.
2 bullets, 2 connections. Great early frag to find. Ave's still not even committing to that A side either, keeping their options open. They've got so much time in the round to play with here. Basso close on the stairs. Not too sure if they did spot out that second player, but no matter what, though, it's going to be a re-rotate back toward the A side. Mertz is playing very open right now. Does spot the head of K, though. That's a nice takedown. Back to a 4 versus 4. They've got a smoke and 2 flashbangs. Not as much utility as they would like, but that smoke good enough to ward off the players on the cross. Some tags coming through, though. Need to be careful. These USPs at range are deadly, but Navrok gets up close to deny Mertz a 4v3 as that bomb goes down.
Oh, the 3 players just have such a difficult job to go on for the retake, but they'll attempt it regardless. Remember, they still have the kid in smoke here that could potentially win them the round. Oh, that smoke grenade, it's relatively deep, so they're not going to go for the straight-up ninja defuse. Naruto. Good pickup here in Manx. Yabi losing quite a lot of HP as well. They're actually going to try to just, double peek Yabi. Now all they got to focus on is Lonesome Basso, and here he's just having such a difficult time to get anything done. Basso should be going down. If not, either way, others will be sitting comfortably out 7 rounds as they do win the very first pistol off the second half.
There we go. Ave's keeping themselves nice and close here in the scoreline. Will be a force buy out of Flames, most likely. Will they just go for the eco? Yeah, of course, they force it up. Relatively standard here on that CT side, but it does present very nice opportunity for Aves to be able to Now close out the scoreline, make this a potential 9-9. That would really start to make Aves look a lot more competitive here on this second map. Their own map pick as well, we must add. Hey, looking to lurk around, but Jabby finding that early opener, that will put a stop to any sort of immediate aggression out of this A side. Weapon not yet retrieved on the side of Flames, but definitely can get themselves a Mac 10, and that's exactly what they do. Now Aves make a choice. They've still got a player lingering on the ramp position, but do they commit to this A side knowing there's at least players up close now?
Yeah, it's dangerous now. The bomb set for a team like Aves, with just the 4 players, they will have a difficult time committing here. In fact, make that just the 2 players here, the bomb set itself. The remaining 2 are over a whole different area of the map. But the 2 individuals here just want to try to fake things out over at A, and well, they're doing a great job at it. 4 players are in fact stationed on the A bomb side. Meanwhile, there's only a lonesome, let's say, who is that? Oh, Dafu. Lonesome Dafu to have to go up against. And with 30 seconds remaining, they should have a great run of form here. This flash wins in. Dafu, though, with the deagle. He swings out to get the kill on Markosh. Goes in for more to eliminate Bialy. 20 seconds now. They need to get rid of Dafu. They finally do so. But look at this. Basa on the other side. The deagle again. So proficient. And with 15 seconds, the bomb plant comes in. But Kyler, he's losing HP and he's losing his life to allow Copenhagen Flames to win 10.
Sort of forced by round as to be maybe expected in this sort of meta. It's such an awkward scenario for these teams to play, and Aves just walking again right into another trap here. Copenhagen Flames guaranteeing double digits as Aves now, what do they do here? Round loss bonus is at 1900, so minimum they get out with here is, let's say, 4100. So there is enough for a buy round. No need to force up if necessary there. They will keep hold of their economy, not have to stress out moving forward. But this is a dangerous spot now as Copenhagen Flames. Most likely this is an extension up to 11-7. And I do not think Aves want to be sitting in that sort of position for much longer. A nice spray down there by Mertz as he does guarantee a 4K in the round. That is a guaranteed 11th. Copenhagen Flames, a rebuy to come for Aves, a first real investment out of the round like this. See where it goes. Vertigo right now, slowly starting to tip us towards overpass.
Yeah, it's turning out to be quite likely in this scenario in particular. Players of Copenhagen Flames now with 11-1 on the board, and of course they're just 5 rounds away from securing potential victory here on a map they are yet to play officially on HLTV. It's quite the impressive run of form. Avez, though, holds the line with the AK-47, though. There are a few incoming players that could try to challenge him, but of course, if you're at the CD side, you're going to be throwing down that deep smoke grenade as early as you can to make sure none of the T side players have a chance at even getting close to scaffolding. Hey, though. He's going to begin to move in just as Yabi begins to retreat. His aim duel is going to matter so much if K goes for it, but just the fact that he can hold that position itself is a big win for Aves.
Especially now as they pincer in toward what seems to be a little more of an A-side default play. Manx getting ready for the aggro push, though. This could be dangerous. Has to be very careful as Kai already walked up, but no. Very well read by Mertz there. That shuts down any sort of initial push that they were looking for. Navrot trying to play it to watch that boost, but with 40 seconds on the clock right now, it's time slowly starting to tick away. Aves ready for a bit more of an A-sided default. Couple of players stacked on short, though, as Manx able to go aggro for the kills. Luckily now a trade out of Bialy. They've got Mertz on the other side to take down, and this could become difficult as Mertz lines up the double. Markosh dead, and Copenhagen Flames looking absolutely fantastic.
This is impressive from Copenhagen Flames, in fact. Managing to hold on the A bomb set here, Mertz shows his proficiency not just with the big green, the AWP, but what can it also do with the AK-47. See though, Simple eco here for Aves. It is quite satisfying that it has come to this where Aves now in the back foot somehow need to bounce back from this situation. Just getting so incredibly difficult against a well-oiled Copenhagen Flames machine. And I'd say now on the CD side, they're probably even more scared than they were on the T side. And especially if Mert is going to be hitting shots like that, Bialy will respond with a kill of his own, leaving it all to 2 players on the bomb site itself. But those 2 are so deadly. It is, of course, Dafu to find the last. And Copenhagen Flames, they avoid the eco scare as well.
Aves back onto one of their better buy rounds here. If they lose this, that's where things really start to become a little more interesting. A potential for Flames to actually get themselves up to round number 15 off of the back of this one. Round loss bonus is starting to generate. But again, it's really starting to make the life of Aves difficult here. Some great early damage as Dafu going aggro to find the opening frag. Now Kyler not able to trade it back. He takes a tag himself, and Jabby, oh, he doesn't realize yet, but players are in the smoke. Navrot wrapping around for a kill, but it's Mertz that chimes in. And with Jabby on the flanks, that should be more than enough to shut down this A-sided push. But no, Jabby, he's playing so secretive right now. This wins the round as they line up only the one, though. That's a whiffed spray by Jabby and a 3-on-2 as Navrot closes 1 and the second. Round still wide open.
Oh, how are they doing it as well? Bialy and Navrot. Full of holding this down. Dafu though, uh-oh, he's been spotted, but he still finds the one on Navrot and even on Bialy. Dafu comes out when it matters most. Copenhagen Flames, I cannot believe they somehow win that round. I mean, it was so hectic. It was looking so good for the Flames. Then it was looking incredibly good for the 2 remaining Aves boys. But it will be the Flames to win it out eventually here as well. I mean, Navrot, just look at his crosshair positioning. It's so good. They thought the 2 kills he got here just might have won them the round. But apparently Dafu had something else to say about it.
Such a good clutch there from him, and Copenhagen Flames even calling a tactical timeout off of the back of that victory. Understanding that it was a little bit more hectic than they would have liked, and just need a few seconds to now get themselves back in the playing field, in the right mindset here. 14-7. Copenhagen Flames, a rebuy from Aves, but they have looked absolutely golden to shut down these opportunities. 5 rounds in a row so far on this CT side. Looking to extend that even further. Money has been expended. Aves looking for some sort of victory to keep themselves in this map, and more so, keep themselves in their own map pick. Jabby already going aggro, situating himself down ramp, and you can tell Copenhagen Flames really have the confidence with them now.
A lot of it, in fact. So much so that they can even take the loss in the next few rounds, and I'm sure the Copenhagen Flames are still in prime position to just close things out. Navrot, though, you might think that he's in a prime position here, but of course the flash screens in actually wins the duel of Manx and Yabba respawn. But look at the free frags that go the way of Aves. That's more than enough to open things up on the A-bomb side. But Basso is very quick on the retake, and maybe the retake is not going to be necessary. In fact, he's just going to go behind the sharp position. He can spot out the players. He can very easily get a few. Oh, and he only gets the 1. But meanwhile, the damage is still done.
They've not rotated, actually, knowing that Dafu is still on this A-bomb site. And not wanting to overcommit, though, now, as smoke will start to dissipate. Markosh not spotted. Now he is, though. Dafu isolating the first. It's down to a 1v1, but 13 health. You have to favor Bialy in this position, surely.
Dafu 1v1. Yes, Bialy comes out on top. It's not going to be another clutch for the Duff man. Well, now 14-8. Copenhagen Flames, though, they are still in a position to buy up, which I'm sure they'll do so respectively. I mean, worst case scenario for them, they still have just so many rounds to work with. Aves and There's one thing we haven't really seen much out of them is just being consecutive on this T side. So far, they've only won the 2 rounds. That's it. And apart from the first pistol round, this has been the next round they've won, 8-gun round. But again, it came down to the clutch there for Beyond to pull it out of the hat. Look at how much respect Copenhagen Flames are just giving away with this one. They're no longer controlling ramp as they've done in the past.
Now with this sort of position, Copenhagen Flames just sitting back right now, not willing to give up. Close corner. K though looking for the peek out here. Back 10 edging ever closer to that top of ramp. Mertz is ready for it. Again though, with the smoke ready to go down. Ace blocks off that angle, gives them a nice opportunity to now burst into the site. Manx though, he'll up close this time though. Good early entry, make it a second. Navrok closing out Manx, already shutting out the options for Flames. 5 versus 2, and that will be another round for Avez on their way back to double digits. Like you say, Copenhagen Flames not scared to save, knowing they've still got rounds in the back pocket.
Yeah, that's one good thing for them is that they have so many rounds to work with. They can definitely, just lose a few rounds and consider, you know what, we're just going to go for the save right here, right now. Not going to do anything too drastic or anything too difficult, like some sort of retaking a 2-on-5 scenario. So why not? Save the 2 weapons, keep the rifles for the next one. I would presume that the remaining players would just go on for the eco and with Daphne going down as well. I think like the eco is now the only option here for Copenhagen Flames, as they don't really have the money to work with, or for that matter, to invest in this one. Maybe even a full-on eco for some of the players. I mean, they are really struggling in terms of money.
Actually, yeah, this has to be an eco, surely. Round loss bonus is good enough to buy in the next, but and it's going to have to be a full standard eco round coming up here. So Avez presented with a very nice opportunity to almost guarantee double digits here at this point. With the way that Copenhagen Flames have some sort of flipped out of these previous couple of rounds, we'll see what they can do to ready for the upcoming buy round here. An eco stack on ramp. Great sprays there by King. Markosh helping him out as well. A nice little shutdown there of a simple eco round. 14-10. Copenhagen Flames. Aren't too many rounds safe now. A couple of gun rounds won by Avez, and we're pretty much up to 13-14 for them. So they've got to be very careful here for the side of Flames.
Yeah, the scary part is that, yes, they still have rounds to work with, but they basically, their approach is going to be, if they lose one round, they're trying to save some of the weapons, and the other players would have to go for an eco. And of course, that round is simply not good enough to win a round. So you might lose that eco one, and then you go in for another investment, and you might again lack in terms of weaponry. Ooh, Yabi. How did he escape the Flames there? Unbelievable. That he still gets to frag and manages to back away his safety. And one of the other problems here for Copenhagen Flames is that you do lack the op here in the hands of Mertz. Oh, that could have been a very important frag for Markosh to pick up. But so far, it's mid-control for Avez and a potential hit on the B-bomb side, as now they begin to wrap around on Lonesome Dafu, who has to hold the line.
Insert in there as well. That's a perfect refrag. Bialdi good for a second, and Kyler making sure the job is done at this point. Basso and Mertz on the retake. And like you said, right now it's Basso that doesn't have any utility. Mertz now isolated. There we go. That will see 1 versus 3 for Basso to play. No real opportunity. No defuse kit. Does have a smoke. Drops the smoke as well, actually. But yeah, chooses the right choice. Goes for a save. 14-11. With money gone again from Flames. Another eco round that has to come through. We are getting scarily close to it. Ave's actually looking like they will make the comeback possible here.
Oh, maybe it is going to be possible for Ave's, but again, the problem here for Copenhagen Flames is the one I mentioned earlier. The remaining players simply don't have enough money to reinvest here, so it is going to have to be an eco. Oh, ended up dying? Did one of the players actually went off the building?
Oh, I didn't see it on the kill field, but yeah, I think Mertz fell.
Ooh.
I wondered where he disappeared to.
Into thin air.
Unlucky. First casualty of the day. Eco round at least, not going to change the outcome massively, but scarily, I'm starting to have my faith restored by Avez, weirdly. They are looking very, very scary right now. 14-12 is almost confirmed. Win the next gun round, and I think we're going to round 30.
I've checked. HL3 confirmed. 14-12 it is, as Lonesome Dafu will be going down in the span of the next few seconds. The players will try to eliminate him, and that is going to be Bialik to secure the final frag. Copenhagen Flames now, if there's one great thing for them, is that they have loads of money to invest. So get that AWP in the hands of Mertz ASAP. That has been one of the great things here on the C side defensive. If they can get that AWP here for Mertz, maybe if they feel confident enough, a double op setup could also come into play. One in the hands of Mertz, maybe the other one in the hands of whoever's defending the B-bomb side. Maybe Dafu. Why not?
Yeah, this could be an interesting decision to make, actually. If they feel like they need a little more stability now on this CT side just to keep themselves afloat right now. They lose this gun round, and we know where this goes. We will be having 14-14, most likely. Avez on the brink of snatching a Vertigo victory from right under the feet of Copenhagen Flames. Avez's recent performances haven't particularly gone that close in terms of Vertigo. They've had 16-5s, a 16-10, and a 16-14 loss to Galaxy Racer, but every other victory they've had has been like 16-7, 16-6, even a 16-3. They have had some, you know, much easier victories, but Copenhagen Flames really taking Avez to the distance right now. And with an early entry found by Marcos, that's a great way to begin. Manx with damage, but again, it's a trade back 3v3 though. And this time, no, that's unfortunate. Tyler able to swing out and shut off Mertz. It's Yabi that's trapped now as they fall. And Basso, last man, a 1v3. And it seems like they know exactly where he's coming from. They do the damage, but can't get the frag just yet.
Oh, but now they know the positioning of Basso as well. They know who's out here on the A-bomb side. Might as well book it and go B. That is exactly what the players of Aves are doing right now. Ooh, that's an engagement. Margosh somehow survives it. The nade as well. Basso could very easily just whip out the USP and try to win this duel, but of course he has no idea whether the op shot even hit or whether the nade did any damage. So what he'll have to go for looks like it's just a simple save. He might just linger a little bit longer here to try and look for some sort of frag, some sort of engagement, but you can see the players of Aves are very much just entrenched, not moving a single inch, except for whom I do believe is Margosh in that position, who will begin to make his way down the staircase in order to save that AWP from the bomb explosion. Two players will go on for the save as well, and same could be said for Basso as he keeps the AWP alive. But for Copenhagen Flames, this is where matters are getting tricky. The op has been saved, but now there's the 13-14 scoreline. Not that long ago, it was Copenhagen Flames leading this one 14-7. And Aves right now in a position where they can potentially win this out.
Go around to come as well for Copenhagen Flames, so this is surely, unless that AWP pops off and unless these Deagles again bring us another round like that, it surely has to be 14 rounds apiece right now. And, well, we'll see what they can bring. Jabi already peeking out toward that close ramp position. This time not going to be spotted out. Got to be careful. K takes the first. Has to be really aware now of the positions, but luckily gets away with two and survives the cross back over as well. He is tagged down relatively low as Basso will try and pick him off. They do at least get one trade. 4 versus 3. Marcos, the angle so good for him. And that will be Aves most likely cleaning up the round now. 14-14 it is. And we will at least see round number 30 here in this second map.
Going the distance, 100% about that. Yali, though, losing quite a lot of HP to Lonesome Duff, if I'm being honest. Not gonna win them the round, though, but Duff could potentially pick up an AK, but even that's not go their way. 14-14 it is. Now, which one of these teams is gonna take the timeout? Yeah, it is gonna be Copenhagen Flames. I mean, they're the ones feeling pressure. I'd say even for a team like Ave's, the scoreline that they've reached here, impeccable, 14. But even so, this is a great opportunity for the Poles to also have the discussion of how they want to approach the next few rounds, because those ones can decide their fate. It could potentially be a victory for one of these teams, or we might just go the necessary distance to reach overtime, which is also up for grabs.
Generally, Aves have some interesting overtime endeavors on a map like Vertigo. Recently, they had a double overtime against Dignitas in the NINEtoFIVE, but I mean, there's one result that really stands out for me, and it's another NINEtoFIVE game, but it's a 31-27 against Honoris. So Aves and overtimes on Vertigo, they seem like best friends, so scarily we'll see where this one takes us. But Mertz, this is an opening shot down ramp that at least allows Aves to back away safely. Utility isn't great for both sides, really. A couple of players lacking on both sides of things, but Flames, they need to convert a round like this, failing to do so, and we pretty much have a great chance of Aves snatching the 16.
Ooh, exchange of bullets. Manx goes down eventually, though. Paso also goes down. No, what is going on? Every single player from Copenhagen Flames has gone down except for Lonesome Mertz. Markarsh, though, not aware that Mertz could potentially just move out here, and Markarsh still secures the final frag. It's just so hard to say what occurred there on the bomb site and in CT spawn, because just in the span of a few seconds, you can just see 4 dead Copenhagen Flames players.
So scary, Aves. Look at this run of form right now. 8 rounds in a row here. Looking to make it 9 to snatch away this victory. Right now, all it takes is 5 frags, maybe a bomb plant in there as well. Gabby looking to get aggressive, but I'm pretty sure he should have been heard on the approach there. Dropping that nade will almost guarantee his position. Backs off safely. A nice nade, at least. Doing some great opening damage, and that's really what they're hoping for right now. The weapons aren't great, so they're already relying on the nades to do a bit of the early work for them, and at least they get some tags in. Players now drop to around 75% of their health. Aves. Oh, this is where things could get difficult. It's an A-sided take to come now. Luckily, there's no sniper on the field, but they've still got a triple stack to try and get through if they wish to take this A-side.
Interesting thing as well, the players from Copenhagen Flames were playing behind smoke grenades, and they've inflicted some decent damage on these players. This is where the MP9s, that one M4 and the FAMAS can really come into play. You can see Aves getting incredibly close to the bomb site itself. The smoke grenade will be, in fact, the smoke grenades, plural, will be deployed to allow Aves to get that bomb down, and this is so crucial because take a look at Copenhagen Flames. Not a single player has a defuse kit. This does mean they're going to have to hurry up on the retake, and currently you have 3 players, in fact 4 players, behind that one smoke grenade, and well, Markarsh, he does spot out the first, and it's time for the remaining players to move in. The flashes, they do come in from both sides, in fact, and well, as they now do rein in the sight, Navrot, Kyler, and Navrot again gets himself the 2, and it will in fact be Aves to pull it out eventually. 16-14 it is, as the Poles close it out on Vertigo.
Oh, what a series. Copenhagen Flames, they had it all in the palm of their hands, and they're just not able to transfer it. It was the worst possible outcome. 9 very convincing T-sided rounds won by Aves to seal the game. And I think we rightly know our victors there. Aves, they showed so much composure on that T-side. 14-7 up to 16-14. They just proved how it was done there. And Copenhagen Flames, new side, new players, just felt like they lost the energy later in those rounds there.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite